gonna win? Who's gonna win? We got the guy in the blue shorts. We got the guy in the red shorts. One guy looks a little younger, but who's gonna win? Is Slow Joe gonna knock Trump out with a Hail Mary, or is Trump gonna kick Joe Biden in the nuts at the last second and steal the victory? Who will know? It's gonna be a close one, folks. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Yeah, right. You realize that Trump and Biden are like the devil and Jesus on a one-sided coin, and you have to get them both to get the coin. So the only way you get the coin is if you get good and evil, and neither one of them is good or evil, but together, collectively, they're both a plus and a minus. They cancel each other out. So when the elections come up and Trump wins, if he doesn't get indicted, then people are going to be like, "Oh, Biden won, Biden," and then everybody's going to be sad again because Biden is so slow and he can't articulate what he's trying to say to the public. But then, is Trump better for the office because he's a billionaire? I mean, don't the governments work specifically hand in hand with the billionaires to keep them billionaires? Democrats want more government. Republicans want less. I think Donald Trump wants more government for him. And I think Joe Biden wants more government for him. They want to be able to suck funds from the taxpayers, and they want no one to complain about it. You have to pay 30% taxes on like everything. And you earn $10, you got to give away $3 to taxes so they could send money to Ukraine and Israel while your kid dies from fentanyl. And people are going to argue and say which one is better, which one is better. If you even consider that one of them is better than the other one, you are a fool. You are stupid, and you don't deserve to vote. You should be automatically eliminated from voting because you are obviously slow. Because anyone who votes for Trump or Biden, who votes at all, that think their vote matters, has lost their mind. Donald Trump was going to do things in business to make Donald Trump rich, which will in turn make everybody else rich. And people like that, so they want to vote for Trump because they say the economy is in better hands. Biden, on the other hand, doesn't know what he's doing, and he's being coached or coerced by somebody else. So when Biden wins the presidency, he's not even the president. And when Trump wins the presidency, he's running the presidency from the Trump Towers because he ain't worried about the presidency. He's worried about the deals that he can make as president so then he can make himself richer. Even if he doesn't get paid a penny at all while he's in office, he will have made arrangements and agreements with people that are in high positions of power. So it will give him, therefore, larger supply of income at another time. Say, as soon as he's stepped down from the presidential position. So he might not make 10 million while he's in office, but he'll make $1 billion or $2 billion or $10 billion the second he gets out. Both of these people are slow. They need to either elect somebody randomly to be the president, or they need to go and we need to have a junior high school globathon or a nationathon where we know how people vote for the class president in middle school or high school. We need to do that, and then we need to have the class presidents of each school compete for who gets to be the real president. So the real president is going to be a high schooler or a middle school kid that actually is affected by the problems and isn't led by a monetary interest at the time. Because the only person who's not corrupted by money are people who are young enough not to realize that it's corruptible. Everybody else is tainted. It doesn't matter who you are. If you've worked for money, or if you've done something for money, you've already gave yourself up, and you've already made yourself ineligible. So we need to let somebody who makes the rules, somebody who has an unbiased opinion, somebody that's not willing to throw us in the fire just to give themselves a bigger payout. I don't know what anybody else thinks, but I know that if there, we had a 5-year-old president that was walking around and he could even shit himself and he could fall over like he's drunk sometimes and he could not put away his toys and we would still love him even more than we would love Joe Biden and Donald Trump. I think Joe Biden and Donald Trump, I think the Republican and the Democratic Party are working for the same thing. They're just trying to call it, they're working for the same person. They got an overlord as well, probably Rothschild or something, that's telling them what to do. And the Rothschild says, well, we'll let one of you guys be the leader of your country, but we get to say what's going on. What happens, you got to, if you're going to do something, you got to get it approved by us. So either way, somebody is in a higher chain of command than the president. The president is a puppet for the puppets that are paying attention. All like in the next couple months, all we're going to see on the news, all we're going to hear from anybody is who you think is going to win, Joe Biden or Donald Trump, Joe Biden or Donald Trump, Trump or Biden, Trump or Biden. I'm a Trump fan. I'm a Biden fan. Fuck, I hate Biden. I hate Trump. This and that. But no one's going to suggest how we could eliminate this problem for the future. Nobody seems to have any ideas. I think the smartest idea is either A, not have a president and elect a fucking council of people, not the Senate, not the House. Those people have already been tainted as well and they've been corrupted by money and greed because they've been in those positions for years and years and years. We need people who get somebody that's got some serious poverty going on in their life and let them run the country. I guarantee they make it a better place and much more peaceful and happy and healthy and a cost-effective place than either one of these people. The cost of goods and services is going to go up no matter what because of the people that Biden and Trump work for. They have no control over the economy. Changing the interest rates at the Fed does not stop inflation. It just slows it down temporarily. You can't stop, like, the inevitable. What everybody should realize is that we are running on borrowed time. Our economy is going to collapse. That's why they keep hyperinflating it and keep shooting injections into it, hoping that it'll stand strong for just another year or until they make it out, so they don't have to deal with it. As long as they can, we can keep it strong until I die. Then I don't got to worry about it. It's on to the next man, and that's exactly how they feel about it. They don't care if they ruin generations to come for millennia. They don't care if they wipe off the majority of the people on the planet. All they care about is who's giving them money, how much money they're going to give them, and what kind of hypothetical power that they attain. Because it's a power trip being the president, but that don't mean that you have any real power, because you can act like you do and you can seem like you do to the general public because the general public's stupid, but the people like me that know how the government's really ran by shadow governments, I know that the president isn't nothing but a guy like the mayor of a city. He might be able to say a few things and he might be able to stand and look pretty, but he cannot solve any real problems. The real problems need to be solved by the people. The people need to realize this is wrong. We need to change it. The government is not going to help us out. The government wants you dead. They want your children dead. They want all your money, and they want you to live in a fucking a 2x2 box, and they don't want you to say nothing, and they want you to shut up, and they want you to pay your taxes, and they want you to pay for your car note, and they want you to pay taxes on your car, and they want you to pay taxes on your food, and they want you to pay taxes on your housing, and they want you to never complain when they spend their money unwisely on militaries and war and other people's problems, pretty much. The only thing that's ever going to solve the problems in this world, or at least this country, is if we realize that the only war that needs to happen is the war with the poor versus the rich. The super poor need to get some guns, and they need to go against the super rich. Who cares if the super rich got F-16s? It'd be a good match, because the super poor have billions. That's billion with a B, and the super rich have hundreds, maybe 1,000. So if people really want change in their world, they need to say, hey, we need to take out these fucking billionaires. We need to gather up. We need to riot. We need to cause chaos and say that this is not going to happen no more. We're done living like this. We're not going to let these people control our lives no more. We're going to make a stand, and we're going to say what goes and what don't. The people don't need a government to tell them that, you should look after your mom when she gets too old to work or take care of herself. Maybe somebody in the family should look after her and help her out until her last days, because she took care of the kids her whole life, and now they're grown up and they're working and they're able to do whatever they need to do, and they're earning an income on their own now. So why not take care of the mom? The government thinks, oh, there's going to be nobody for that mom. Everybody's got somebody, even if it's not family. It's close enough to it, and regardless, we're all family on this planet. We all have to deal with the repercussions of stupid people. If one stupid person in charge does something drastic, it could ruin the credibility for everyone else. And that don't mean that everybody else is stupid or corrupt. It just means that everybody else got tainted by the damage. So I want you to realize that your vote does not count. If you vote for Trump or Biden, you are a loser. And the only way to ever make any change in this world is to realize who's printing the money. And then when you find out who's printing the money, you figure out how to kill that person, and then make it so that the people are printing the money, not a group or a family of elites is printing the money. If you allow someone to print your money, you allow someone to enslave you right away. In this country, we don't have free will. We have slavery. We have invisible slavery. We don't have shackles and chains on us with a master hitting us with a whip, but we might as well, because we have to have money to go get food. We have to have money to get gas. We have to have money to sleep. We have to have money to have a blanket. We have to have money to have a pillow. We have to have money to take care of our children, take care of our elders. We have to do all that stuff. And the government is not helping us. They're not helping us. They're making us get by worse and worse every generation and every year. Every year, people who were doing okay are doing a little bit worse, and they're doing a little bit worse, and they're doing a little bit worse. And maybe somebody will come into office and they'll make it a little bit better for 4 years, but then it'll go back down. And they don't realize the carnage that the 4 years that were in doing well, how they have catalyst repercussions as well. So it could have seemed like we had a good 4 years with the economy, but in reality, did we overexert ourselves with our national debt, or did we do something stupid at the Fed to where this infinite money glitch that they have is just even more infinite? Because when you print money that's backed by nothing, you have nothing. So everything in this country is worth $0. I can tell you how to fix the economy. You don't do it like what you're doing, because what you're doing is you're valuing things by debt. And when you value things by debt, that means the things are only as good as that debt. And if the debt isn't good, the debt isn't tangible, then that means the debt is erasable, and the money could just disappear. So every single house, every building, every dollar, every bank account, every stock, every single one of those things in this country is worth $0, because they were created by something that was invisible and worth $0, and then they backed all those things with an infinite amount of $0. So it doesn't matter if you're backing my $10 with your infinite dollars. That doesn't mean I have more than $10. I still have $10, because the only thing that's real is my $10. That say I had my $10 backed by gold or something. That'd be the only way that $10 is real or exists, because it's worth $10 of gold. It's not worth $10 of debt. Is just somebody owing somebody $10. And when our nation's debt is $30-some trillion, that means who do we owe $30 trillion to? We should be supplying our own goods and services and banking money, or if we even use money at all, we should be using it for legitimate purposes to enrich our communities in America. We shouldn't be starting wars in foreign countries and then spending money to aid that war that we started as a psyop. You know what I mean? Because like the government, the U.S. government, most likely started. They were probably Hamas that started the war in Israel. They were probably the Russians, the psyops from Russia that started the war in Ukraine. They were probably the ones who wanted to start the war in Iran. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're trying to make you scared. They're trying to give you fear, and they're trying to take everything from you little by little. So eventually, you don't even realize that they got you in a chokehold so bad you literally have seconds to breathe, and you can't even scream for help because they've been choking you for so long, and they finally got their grip on you, and now they're gonna fucking just grip on until you explode. So you can live your life the way that you live your life right now, or you could think, how can we change this? How can we do something different? Is there another option? Is there another option to democracy? Because we don't have a democracy in the United States. We have communism in the United States because the government runs everything. We have a dictatorship of government and or ruling class oligarchs and plutocrats. So we don't have no free will. We don't have no money. We don't have no power. And we are being manipulated by a select group of people, and we give them that authority and allow them to rule us like they're kings and gods when they ain't nobody but a person that puts on their pants one leg at a time. That's it. How could you let somebody, if you're a working class person and you're making $50,000 a year, how could you let somebody make $50 billion a year and they're not doing half the work that you're doing? Wouldn't you just want to? Doesn't that make you just want to kill that person? You got to spend all your effort and all your time and energy to make that $50,000, and then you get taxed 30%. So now you're down to like $35,000, and then you still got to buy food and all your expenses for your whole year. You have no money already, and you didn't even have any fun or get anything luxurious. And that's what people are getting paid in the U.S. Maybe $80,000 right now for the average American, and that's being generous. There's some people that aren't making over $10,000 in this country. There is so many homeless encampment cities all across this nation, and they will just keep getting worse and worse. And they have the solution to the problem, because when Xi Jinping came to San Francisco, they cleaned up the streets in San Francisco and made the Tenderloin look like there was nothing going on there. And then as soon as Xi Jinping left, they put the streets back to the way it was. So that means they want people to be enslaved and addicted to drugs on the streets, falling over, nodding out, stealing shit, because it's easier for them to take out their fuse and take out their little contribution, and we could say, oh, that's the enemy, the drug addicts, that they're the enemy, they're doing drugs and they're stealing, they're robbing, and all this stuff like that. But no, the drug addicts are not the enemy. The enemy is the people who force them people to have no other choice but to take drugs. You don't punish an addict or a drug dealer for a crime that is being committed by governments in foreign lands. We know who's bringing in all the fentanyl. It's China. And the Chinese are giving it to the Mexicans, and the Mexicans are bringing it across, or the Chinese are bringing it across through Mexico. So we know who's got the drugs. We know where to get the drugs. We could go to Kensington Avenue, Skid Row, the Tenderloin. We could go to any of these places, and we could have an undercover cop and one day find out who the kingpin is in every area and take that person out. Hang him in front of their peers, hang him in front of their family, murder them in cold blood, and make them realize that if this happens again, we are not going to take a stand for this. We're not going to let these drugs infiltrate our country and kill all of our youth. There's been a whole generation that's been wiped out, and no one even realizes it. 112,000 people are dying a year from fentanyl. In America, there's 330 million people in the United States. If we lose over 100,000 people every single year, it doesn't take long for us to realize that we're not going to ever be able to sustain our population. And the rate that the birth rate's going now, people are having less babies or not having babies at all because everybody's trans these days, we're going to eliminate ourselves. We're going to wipe ourselves off the map, and there's going to have to be a need for AI and robots, because no one's going to be alive except for a few rich people who are able to take care of their health because they have the money and the means to do so. So is this a rant? No. This is what you need to be told by your subconscious, because if your subconscious isn't talking to you like I am right now, I am acting as your subconscious. If you're not hearing this from yourself, you won't believe it, and you won't make sense of it, and you won't do nothing about it. If you hear this from one of your buddies, and then you don't go talk to the next person that you talk to about what I just talked about, you are a fool, and you're the reason that we have problems in this world. And you're the reason problems exist and they continue to grow, is because people just put their head down and they don't say nothing. Somebody said that the world isn't going to be destroyed by people who are destroying it. It's going to be destroyed by people who see it being destroyed and they don't do nothing about it. I think that was Albert Einstein. So, and that's not a direct quote, but it's something along those lines. So it's just, what is the solution here? Obviously, it's not Trump, it's not Biden, it's not democracy, it's not Democrat, it's not Republican, it's not liberal, conservative, it's none of that. It's, we need to go back to the family lifestyle, like the rich are. The rich live amongst their family and they treat their family as gods. We treat our family like shit. The second your kid turns 5 years old, you send him to school by himself, so they don't know one person, and they say that that's enriching them, when really it's only indoctrinating them and teaching them stuff that the government wants them to know, so they never get older and realize, hey, this isn't the way things should go, or this isn't the way I should live my life. But they coerce people to leading a certain life, and that life that they want them to live sucks. They expect us to be complacent workers and military men so we can get shot on the front lines for somebody else's war. And that is, Trump and Biden want your children dead. They want your children dead. They want all your children dead. They want your grandchildren to be murdered in cold blood on fentanyl. And you could ask either one of them this. You could send them this clip, and I guarantee they're not going to say nothing, because they realize that my voice matters more than both of their voices do. So that's why a long time ago when I was losing my mind, I was acting like I was the president. It's because if somebody doesn't fucking stand up and say, okay, I'm going to be the fucking president and handle this shit, then everybody's fucked. So no, I'm not the president, obviously. Do I want to be the president? No. But do I think that there's a solution to all the problems that we have in America? You're damn fucking right. You see what I'm saying? So, sorry for my cursing. But I just had to get this out, because I'm sick and tired of people saying, or who are you going to vote for, Trump or Biden? Or who's better? Or what's better? Or, the questions that are being asked are not even getting close to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem is that both sides are bad, and we need to readjust our whole methodology on how we do this stuff. So just remember, when the polls are up and they're saying vote for me, just remember that even if you vote for one of them people, your vote does not count. The election is on a digital system, and it's rigged by whoever the best rigger is. The person who creates the best system, the best poll taking system, wins the contract, and that person has the right to rig it. If it's digital, it can be rigged. If it's done by hand, it can be manipulated by the people who are counting it by hand. There's no way an election votes can matter unless somebody like Elon Musk does a social media votes. And we have to validate ourselves with our ID through social media. That should be the only way we should be voting, or we should be doing it in a public school amongst our peers, and we should be counting the votes together. Okay, we had 10 people come in. There's going to be 5 votes for this guy, 5 votes for this guy, and we know how many people voted and how many people went for each direction before we even leave the room. So there's no room for error. You see what I'm saying? So maybe I'm far off. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm just a stupid kid. But I've lived on this planet long enough to know that we're not doing shit the right way it's supposed to be done. I could make this whole entire economy run better and make every single person a millionaire in 5 years. Every single person. Even if you had $0, I could make you a millionaire. So That right there shows you that I could already be better than every single president that will ever exist for eternity. And I'm just some guy on the streets that just knows a little bit of knowledge, and I am not scared to die over this shit. I'm not scared to get shot like Kennedy. I'm not scared to do the shooting. I'll kill some fucking politicians if I have to. If it's between me and my child and them, if they're in the way, they gotta go. I don't care. I'll get it. I'll steal their F-16. You heard me? So, all right, well, I gotta go. TikTok's going crazy, but I'm gonna let y'all get back to your day. But just remember, your vote does not count. Trump and Biden both suck, and the only way to get ahead is to change the whole system and start from the bottom. We don't need the government intervention in everything we do. We don't need people taking taxes from us and increasing those taxes while our income is not increasing. We need equal rights amongst the people. We need the little man to have as much say as the big man. The rich man shouldn't be the only person who has any say in this world. The rich man was born or put in a position of power, and he might have took some risk and he might have done well for himself, but that don't mean that he deserves to rule the world like he's God. Everyone on this planet deserves to share the ability of what goes on this planet. We all should have an equal say. It doesn't matter if one person does better or had more opportunity than another. That just means they might have been born in a better house. That don't mean that they're smarter or they have any idea what works better or what should be done. That's all I got for today. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, follow, and I'm going to be coming out with content like this all the time. And I'm not trying to say I'm biased towards anything. I'm not an anarchist. I'm nothing like that. I'm just some guy from Iowa that realizes that everyone is blind if they're going to these people to be their Messiah. If you want someone to be your Messiah, I'll be your Messiah. But you need to realize that those people are not your Messiah. I might not be either, but I know I'm more Messiah than these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So put me on the pedestal. You're going to put them dumbasses on there.